Time to get you up to speed on some of the other stories developing tonight. Scary moments at a Taylor Walmart today after police say 52-year-old Solomon Dominguez went into the store before it opened, pulled a gun, and tried to rob it. Police say he got into the store early and then started threatening workers. Later, when police negotiators arrived, Dominguez became distracted and an employee was able to grab his gun. He was arrested without incident. More than 1,000 people who work for Navajo Nation casinos could soon be without a paycheck. The tribe's casinos have been closed for months now, and the supply of cash is starting to run out. It's unclear at this point if layoffs are coming, but the head of the Navajo Gaming Enterprises Association says if employees don't receive a paycheck, they'll still be able to access their health benefits. And former Congressman and civil rights icon John Lewis will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. He's the first African-American lawmaker to lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. Lewis served 33 years as a congressman from Georgia, his casket lying atop the same catafalque that was used to support Abraham Lincoln's casket. It will be outside for socially distanced public viewing today and tomorrow.